And we're going live. 3, 2, 1. All right, and we are
Famous
back.
Thank you!
Thank you for the biddies, Dan. Welcome back, everybody. Hype train, hype train, hype train. Let's go. I love the twerking goblin. I think that's my new favorite emote. But all right, welcome back for another episode of Efferia Unshattered, the Black Sheep. We are now on.
Thank you!
Aw, ads, thank you.
Evening nerd.
Aw. When last we met, you guys were exploring a dilapidated temple. You guys fought some shadows. You fought some traps. You beheaded.
You blew up!
You beheaded and burned some skeletons that had been long dead.
I'm just doing my part.
And Wenrish blew up a cabinet. But then you guys got into an encounter with some folks from Orthad Nor who were visiting doing the excavation of said temple, only to have one of them later on that evening set fire to several of the huts in camp and tried to do something with the automaton, resulting in his head exploding scanner style.
Dude, head's gone!
Dude, head gone!
Oh.
Boom. And we left off with you guys having a discussion with Ornak Fenrith and some of the other council members of the Terran Enclave, and you resigned for the evening, having left the body where you had originally found it. Who's rolling the d6 for tonight? Did you decide who's gonna roll?
None of us managed to get a
we
6.
all rolled.
Yeah, we figured
None
that
of
we
us.
would all roll, and then you tell us the results, and then we pick which one we want.
No.
Yeah. So we got 1 through 5.
The 93 doesn't count either.
What kind of dice roll is it?
It's a d6.
Oh, just a straight D6.
Just a straight d6.
I got it.
I'm worried.
What the fuck?
The one time it's the middle of the
How did you
road.
get-
Right?
how did you get
I'm
an outcome?
never middle of the road!
Go team
Wow.
3!
This seems rigged.
It's the magic number. Yeah, it is.
All right. You guys wake in the morning to the sound of screams.
My favorite.
Not again.
Coming from the automaton hut. Over
No,
this way.
I really meant it with the beauty sleep.
How do each of you respond to the screams? People are rushing towards the automaton hut.
Begrudgingly.
I feel like I would kind of jump out of bed and then remember, right, we left the body there, and someone probably just found a body with a bunch of gore all around it. Then I would just get ready for the day normally and start heading there.
Force likes to go wherever crowds
You know
are.
what? You know what, actually?
Yes.
I feel like I would react similar and jump up out of bed and run towards it.
All right.
Nah. I already saw somebody's head blow up there. I'm having my coffee. I'm finishing taking the cold cream off of my face. Like, we're getting through our morning.
All right. So you guys are taking your time. I'm gonna put one Wenrish on the GM layer since they're not here. Wenrish is sound asleep. Absolutely just dead asleep. Taking a
Hungover.
hibernation.
I think I'll cooperate for a change and actually go to the automaton.
Aw! Hi, Kelly!
Kelly!
She says sorry, guys, and resubbed for 12 months! A year! A year,
Wait,
Kelly, a year!
I got
Yeah, she's got to
You
work.
could play with your magic nose goblin.
She's stuck with work tonight, so.
Oh,
Boo.
work.
Boo! Boo, we're getting in the way of D&D!
Points
The
Aw, Ed,
audacity.
thank you! Look at all the subs tonight. Oh, you guys. Alright, so you guys are headed towards the automaton. Boris, I'm just gonna put you over in head you over in that direction. Who else was headed for the automaton? Aldrin?
I like jumped out of bed and I remembered that we kind of left the body there, and it's probably just someone who found it, so I'm just taking my time.
Alright, Zedish, are you headed that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Put you over by Boars. And Dustin, what are you doing?
Freaking out that somebody's screaming. Why is there screaming in the morning?
Alright, Zedish and Boars.
This is like day 2 of screaming in the morning.
You arrive to a crowd gathered around the automaton hut. As you move in closer to peek through the door, this is what you see.
Oh.
Oh,
But hello there.
Blood has pooled around the floor, and it seems as though the blood has formed strange sigils on the floor, walls, and ceiling, all interconnected in some way.
might it be an arcane thing?
It could very well be an arcane thing.
Then perhaps this
For the record-
knowledge arcana, god dang it. Well, I don't know a
For
thing
the
about
record,
it.
Yeah, Boris, you have
I want
no
everyone
idea.
to know
This is
that I am not responsible.
Boris, you're more attuned to natural magics. This is very unnatural. You've never
Well-
seen anything quite like this. Not in blood.
By process of elimination, my presence here is no longer required. Boris goes outside and smokes a pipe.
Oh, it's something demonic. I miss Wenrish.
Oh.
Aw. You overhear people murmuring about what they think it could be. You also hear that they're going to be gathering in the meeting hall shortly to discuss this event, as no one is quite sure exactly what happened aside from those you spoke with last night. Do you head straight for the meeting hall, or did you want to try and investigate the room? It's pretty full of it's kind of the door itself is pretty blocked right now with people.
Would I be getting there at this point?
Yeah, we'll say you're there.
Alright.
There you go.
I'm just gonna not forcefully, but still firmly kind of push people aside to get through. Like, excuse me, we dealt with this last night, mostly. Just give us a minute.
Wait, this was here last night. Why didn't you? Why was nothing
we
reported?
talked. We already did, just not to everyone because most of you were asleep.
Yeah, we're dealing with the fires.
That too.
All right, Aldrin, you move your way into the room and roll me a history check.
Quite the average.
We're nailing this.
You think you may have
Mhm.
seen some of these symbols or sigils before, but you can't quite place where.
Mm.
The room itself, the body is still where you left it. People are preparing to move it currently has a sheet over it, and people are getting prepared to move it to the meeting hall. The room itself, it with it being as dark as it was last night, you saw the blood on the floor, but there wasn't blood on the walls and ceiling like this. Not last night. This is new.
Hmm. I'm gonna approach it and kind of poke the blood a bit with one of my swords. Just because this seems weird.
Nothing.
Is it in Infernal?
Are you there? Oh,
I'd
you
be
are
showing
now.
up about now. Now that's I was waiting for a pause to say. That's why I was like, probably about now would be when I'd be showing up. Like coffee in hand.
It is not infernal.
Well,
Is it
contrary
common,
to what
deep speak,
Wenrich would normally
dwarvish,
think, it's
elvish,
not
or
actually
halfling?
demonic for this, so
It is not.
Hmm. Does it look like someone has smeared the blood on the walls?
Yes. It looks like it was like
Hmm.
hand painted.
Well, that
this
wasn't
looks like
one of
somebody was
ours.
trying to cover tracks more than anything.
Hmm.
As they start to move the body, you, Aldrin, notice a ring fall off. Off of,
I will.
specifically the House Ellendor ring falls off of
I
Tristan's
will
hand.
snatch the ring then.
All right. You now
Ooh, a key item.
a key item. What?
It's got an exclamation point over it.
It totally does. Otherwise, amongst the room, assorted gears and cogs, gems, crystals, tinkers, tools, various containers, an alchemy furnace, several books, safety equipment, and a
Is there a
prototype
mop?
Someone is currently bringing in a mop and bucket to start cleaning up.
Good.
So, you also notice a small, primitive prototype of the automaton.
Can we actually are any of the magic trainers there?
Not at this exact moment, no.
Can we stop them from cleaning and ask any of the magic trainers to show up and actually identify if these are arcane sigils or if they're absolute nonsense?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll say you're able to call Kazro over, and he arrives. Let me get him 1 second.
Hi, Kazro.
He's on a different layer. This map is too big!
Hey guys, little
You did
out of
this.
character sidebar. Are we worried about the mini automaton?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering if it was one of ours or if it was a recent addition.
Yeah, I don't remember that being there before. Then again, I don't remember if Boris was ever in the room.
That's fine. I'm okay with
Yeah.
checking on that. I just wanted to make sure that I was stepping into stopping them from cleaning up the scene before we verified that.
Yeah, Kazro comes in and stops those from cleaning and starts walking around the room, getting a closer look at the various sigils and figures drawn on the walls, and he turns to you and goes, This is primordial.
What does it say?
So elemental.
Indeed. But a variation of primordial that hasn't been used in centuries. We haven't seen anything like this since before the ancient wars.
Wait a minute. I mean, does it make any actual sense in any way?
What does it say?
It it's not making sense. I think we might need to talk to Ornak about this. Let's all go meet at the let's go to the meeting hall, talk to Ornak. There may be something more that we can do.
Well, one wonderful thing to start might be maybe getting a scribe to write all of this down, maybe paint it even in wonderful colors, and then wash the shit off.
Kazro directs a couple other members of the Terran Enclave to start doing just that, and you see a couple of them pull out giant pads of paper and start sketching the room in detail.
And then maybe when you've cleaned the room, we might burn the hut down and just build another one in its place. Looks pretty tainted at this point.
Burn the whole place down, start over.
Can't be haunted if we start over.
Exactly.
The mini automaton it's stationary, right? That you mentioned before.
Yes, on closer inspection, it is literally just somebody trying to recreate the automaton on a smaller scale in an attempt to figure out how it works.
But
Okay.
is that one of ours?
I was like, man,
Yes.
I don't want to leave and have this disappear.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I make a suggestion? We should fucking throw that thing in the river before it becomes a bigger problem.
Which one?
No,
the prototype
not yet.
or the automaton?
Yes.
No. One thing at a time. That you're talking about something that can potentially be used to help us versus something. I mean, it's an ancient mystery for another day. You're so afraid of the advancement of science that you're willing to just throw it in a river? That's what they used to do to babies.
Let me get you guys in the room so you can see what's going on.
Why is there a giant dragon there?
That is the automaton.
That's the automaton.
Oh.
Armageddon.
It is a giant jade crocodile.
I forgot that for a moment and thought that there was just a random encounter here.
There you go. Welcome
Well,
to the automaton.
while the automaton
Welcome
is
to
here,
the automaton.
we know where it is, and we can watch over it. If we throw it in the river, anyone can get it.
Exactly. Or that. But, I mean, really, you shouldn't just throw out something because you're inherently afraid of it.
That's what they're doing with
That's
us.
not really how society even works. I mean, all of us here are people that were thrown out at some point.
Well, just like with people that are thrown out of society, I think we probably should have just left it at the bottom of that weird pit. But that's just me, I guess.
You know what else is at the bottom of the big pit? Mushrooms.
I remember that. That's why I wanted to live in the big pit with the automaton. So
See?
and leave it down there. and let
No,
it just
see,
be a statue.
my point is that they are useful and can be used by proper hand, or poison to those who are not knowledgeable.
So, as a little detail, Kate, you said the automaton is a giant jade crocodile. How similar is it to the one we found in the ruin?
Almost identical.
Maybe we should get the one in the ruin as well.
The other one in the temple seemed to be quite solid with no moving parts.
I mean, they all seem that way until they start moving, you know?
Yep.
Like, mimics look like perfect chests before you open them and then they chew you up. We should at least send someone to check it out. A group of someones to check it out.
The other
Maybe we should
automaton?
take this one down to the pit where the other automaton is, and then cave in that temple, leaving both of them at the bottom of it, and think nothing more of it.
Well, see, the thing is, the temple was caved in, and it's being extracted right now, so that could just happen again.
Well, cave it in more. More better this time. Shouldn't have been uncaved in. Caved out. Listen, I'm a dwarf telling you something shouldn't have been caved.
I mean, perhaps. So did you guys want... What else are you guys doing in this room, or are you guys gonna head to the meeting hall? Okay, I'll shut up.
Let's go to the meeting hall.
Alright. To the meeting hall! Back to
It
the other
appears
hall.
we need to go to the meeting hall and then need to go maybe back down to the tunnels.
Alright. I'm just gonna ping where the meeting hall is. Ugh, I gotta zoom way the fuck out now. 1 second.
Shift ping us, boss.
Yeah,
Meeting
shift
hall.
ping! Okay, we're just gonna theater of the mind this, because I don't have a map for the meeting hall.
We're a penguin.
Ping! Alright.
Woo!
Let me get these people off the GM layer. We'll say Doc and Andrew have been summoned, as well as Ornak and several members of her council are there. As you arrive, the chamber is dimly lit, the flickering of candles casting long shadows across the faces of those gathered. The air is thick with a blend of anticipation and tension as the Terran Enclave convenes. In the center of the room lies the headless body of Tristan Ellendor draped in a sheet. At the head of the gathering sits Ornak Fenrith, her eyes alight with both wisdom and weariness. She leans forward, her voice carrying authority as she addresses the assembly. Our cause does not thrive on needless bloodshed. What do we do with this unfortunate loss? Various voices chime in, each suggesting a course of action. Some argue for a ceremonial burial, honoring Tristan despite their differing allegiances. Others, driven by a sense of justice, propose exposing the darker deeds of the deceased noble to undermine the oppressive regime they represented. Larissa Silvermoon, a druid, with determination etched in every line of her face, speaks up. Perhaps Tharia can extract information from Tristan. His knowledge could be invaluable to our cause, revealing the inner workings of the Sun Elves. The discussion continues, debates flaring and ideas clashing like elemental forces. Some urge caution, warning of the moral implications of tampering with the dead. Others, fueled with desperation, see the body as a potential turning point in their struggle against tyranny. Ornak listens, her expression unreadable, weighing the arguments carefully. Finally, she raises a hand, calling for silence. We will honor the fallen with dignity, but we will not waste this opportunity. Extract what knowledge we can, then return the body to his family in North Adenor. The room falls to a determined hush as Tharia the Fae sets to work, weaving spells and incantations to draw forth the secrets held from within the still form. It is a delicate process, combining ancient rituals with the intricacies of Fey magic, each movement deliberate and respectful. Soon, a ghostly form rises from the body. As the ethereal form of Tristan's ghost materializes, its presence carries an air of solemnity. Do any of you wish to ask any questions? Did I lose you?
Is there
Marco.
anyone you wished to say goodbye to?
Oh, that's a nice thing to ask.
My mother and my sister. I don't know what they'll do without me, but I've always been there to take care of them, but they will have to take care of themselves now.
Why did you do the incredibly brave and noble thing that you did that ended up getting you killed?
The automaton is just one of several across Efferia. Their locations yet to be discovered. Their
Did you
beast
think what you were doing was... Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you finish.
They're bestial artifacts that once fought alongside great warriors, both fighters and wielders alike. Each has its own unique power, but only if your energy is compatible. This automaton is believed to be compatible with those with sorceress energy, but the attunement process was too much for me.
And you were confident? Why were you confident that it was going to work?
I was a sorcerer. What are you performing, Arapsis?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm poorly paying Pop Goes the Weasel and my flute in the background.
Ornak gives
But
you you get a bit of a stink eye from Ornak. She's kind of like
shift to a
makes
minor key. Minor key. It's supposed to be a solemn event.
Who stands to gain from your death?
No one that I'm aware of. Other than maybe someone in Moon Ladrian. I mean, the Moon Elves and Sun Elves have been enemies for centuries. But as
Yeah,
far as
figured.
I'm aware, none of them had anything to do with this. This was entirely my own actions.
Good to know. And you've said it in front of this Fae here, and, you know, good to know that you took full responsibility for your actions, and none of us are going to be to blame for your death nor anybody else associated with this place. Good to know.
I wanna
You're
insight
really
what
paranoid.
Tristan said.
Okay, go for it.
When you've seen the things I've seen.
Because he says that, but he had a letter from his mother on him.
Do you
So I'm
bring
not really trusting. I'm not really trusting that he's doing this by himself. What do I get? Like, what sense do I get from him saying that with 22 insight?
he seems to be completely honest, and as far as he is aware, no one stood to benefit from his death. I mean, he is a noble, so it could be any number of
No,
enemies
I
of
mean
the.
more so that he did this by himself,
Oh,
like of his own volition.
oh, that part, yeah.
Mhm.
There's a hint of hesitation when he says that.
Hmm. It's interesting that you say you did this by yourself when there was a letter on you from your mother. What do you have to say about that?
That this was destined to happen. She knew I was destined to destroy myself. She just didn't know how.
So
Yes,
despite
yes. We're all
some
masters of our own
prophecy,
destiny.
decided to do this incredibly dangerous thing anyway. Okay.
I thought if I could make a name for the Ellendor family that maybe we could get somewhere. Maybe Quinn wouldn't be where she is, and that my mother wouldn't be a slave, essentially a slave to the Orthadenor crown.
I'm sorry, make a name from for your family who is already one of the important noble houses, and your mother is known far and wide for her prophecies.
Sounds
She,
What
like an
more name
abusive
do you?
family relationship. Really a shame when things end this way.
do not speak ill of my mother. She is a good woman.
So, any final regrets when everything's said and done?
Any final regrets?
Other than blowing your head up, I guess.
That's neither here nor there. I mean, he was a young boy, full of love and lust and blood.
And blind faith in his mother.
I thought that if I did this, that I could release Quinn and we could finally put a looking glass to the, or put a magnifying glass to the corruption that is going on in this world. The crown is not what it seems to be. The queen is not who she seems to be.
Who is Quinn?
Hmm.
Well, congratulations,
This Quinn
son.
you
Wait,
wanted to release?
Quinn is Quinn is who he wanted to release. His sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Where is your sister then?
Last I knew, she had been taken by, one second, notes. New window. She was taken by the White Court.
When you say the Queen is not who she seems, what do you mean by that?
She is in fact a mere figurehead. The Crown's authority is a facade, concealing the puppetry orchestrated by a cabal within the ruling elite, a secretive council of individuals who manipulate and control the Queen's decisions. They operate in the shadows, ensuring that the Queen serves their interests.
So if this secret council had
That
word
just
of
sounds like government.
if the secret council had word of your little excursion, they could have done something to ensure you wouldn't make it back. Or they could, stand to gain from your death.
And that is why I came as soon as I could. That's why I joined Doc's expedition to excavate the site. I thought if I got there first that maybe we could get there before Moon Ladrian or before Nymorn. could get their hands on it. I did this for the Sun Elves, for all of us.
Well, all of us is kind of a broad term when most of us here have been cast out.
Well, it doesn't help that Citrini Saladriel hates the Queen. Nymorn and Orthadanor, the growing tension is just getting worse. Citrini is the godmother of the princess and has not been able to visit or see her granddaughter in several years at the Queen's behest. They hate each other. Citrini has taken no steps to hide her true feelings for the Queen. Great suspicion and distrust. It is said that the princess has been bedridden with illness, but Citrini believes this not to be true. She thinks there's something else going on.
Bedridden with illness?
The princess is the heir to the throne, but no one has seen her in years. She's not been in public. The crown claims that she is ill and is unable to be around most people. She is kept in seclusion in the castle at Nymorn.
Hmm.
As the information begins to unfurl, revealing hidden plans and clandestine operations of the ruling elite, a solemn sense of purpose settles over the gathering. Once the knowledge is obtained, Tristan's body is ceremoniously prepared for its final journey back to Orthadanor, a mixture of honor and pragmatism guiding the Terran Enclave's actions. While a shared understanding of the weight of their decision with a shared understanding of the weight of their decision, the group disperses, each carrying the gravity of their mission and memory of that meeting, the delicate balance between honoring the fallen and using their sacrifice to further the cause of freedom. Ornak pulls several aside and tells them to send missives to Orthadanor, Nymorn, and Moonladrian, trying to figure out what is known and what can be confirmed of what Tristan has said. What are the rest
If
of
you
you
ask,
doing?
Well, I know it's only like 1, but now I could use a drink.
Well, the Edge of the World restaurant is just to the south. Let me get you guys all in one spot. 2 seconds.
I'll join you. I'm not really much for talk of courts and princesses and this intrigue. Sounds like a whole bunch of complicated stuff.
Well, yes, usually the wills of men and women and every person really is. Especially when it comes to royalty. Blech.
Yeah, I really prefer the meritocracy of druiddom.
Oh, what a
Each to their own
coincidence.
ability.
I like nothing.
I'm not much for politics, but I could use a drink for sure.
Exactly. So I say, let us get a drink, take a moment to compose ourselves, and then perhaps discuss what to do next. Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Here.
I'd like to talk with Ornak,
Okay.
if possible.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, not in front of the whole town or anything, just
Yeah, she'll pull
bit
you
of
aside.
yeah.
Yes, Aldrin, what
So
can I do for you?
yesterday on the body, I did find this, and I pull out the dagger that I got off of Tristan's body.
Mm-hmm.
And earlier, when it was being moved, this fell off the body, and I'll show the signet ring. If need be, those items could be found on someone's person that could cause diplomatic difficulties between the Sun Elves and the Moon Elves, for example. Something that could cause a distraction that would allow us to look more into this secret cabal if need be.
I like where your head is at, Aldrin. I will take this into consideration, but hold on to them for now for safekeeping. I
Well, I intend to.
get a hold of you if they are needed. In the meantime, rest, relax, and we'll have more information. We'll have a mission for you soon. Once we
If
figure
I
out where we
may,
need to send you.
Tristan did mention he was doing this for his sister, who was taken by the White Court. I could try and get word to them, see what we can arrange about that. We have a dead body, maybe we can patch things up with Tristan's family and give them a warm body as well.
It's a good idea. Yes. Finding the sister would be greatly to our advantage, and I'm sure her mother would greatly appreciate having her daughter back.
I do have some contacts among the White Court. I could try to reach out.
Do that. Let me know what you find.
Consider it done. I'll just give a nod as kind of like a curtsy and, walk back with the rest of the group.
All right. You guys are then headed to the bar.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's have a drink.
All right. To the edge of the universe. Wait a minute, we lost Boris. Where did you go on the map?
He's off in the water.
What?
Water.
There's
What?
multiple bosses down in the water.
What?
That's him in the spotlight losing his
Why
religion.
are there like 3 of you in the water?
I don't know.
Okay.
You have to keep them dry or they multiply. It's a real problem.
So I guess
I
the
couldn't
question is
find
not
my
why,
token,
but
so I was just
love
arrowing
why.
around, and he never showed up. I guess now I know where he is.
What's this button do?
What's that button do?
I figured eventually, if I just kept hitting arrow keys, Boris would wander his way onto the part of the map I was seeing, and he ended up in the water instead.
All right, you make it to the. Now he's gone again. God damn it!
No, I'm at the meeting hall.
I just moved you
We're
to the
gone
edge of
from
the
the meeting
universe
hall.
restaurant, where everyone else is.
I'm on my way.
We're gonna put a bell on him.
I'm on my way.
Somebody just take control of my token and drag me along with the rest of the team. There we are.
We're gonna make a little toddler strap
Ooh.
backpack network for boars.
Mom away, mom away.
Get one of those little monkey backpacks with a leash.
Yep. Just so
Put
we
me in
can't
there and let
lose
me
them.
cast my spells.
Well, I mean,
Who's the biggest one?
He is the dwarf in the group. So it'd be easier. I mean, it would be at a lower. It would be at a lower height. So if you did have the backpack one, you'd have it on your back, and then the. Oh no, he would have the backpack. You guys
Dwarves
have
are
the leash.
really
Okay,
dense.
I understand how this works.
You don't want a dwarf in your backpack. You're gonna break your fucking back.
True.
We need somebody bigger.
I could lift.
Asterion!
All right, Zetish, it's time for the squats.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, you guys make it to the Edge of the Universe restaurant. People are just kind of. It's kind of sparse. Most people are at home right now, kind of dealing with the aftermath of what many of them just saw and witnessed. So, it's not super packed in here tonight. Felicia, the bartender, is behind the bar. Gives you guys a wave as you come in. Drinks first or food?
Wine.
Drinks, of course.
Tea.
How are you today, darling?
Oh, keeping busy. Working on a new menu. We're trying to do some more stuff with different kinds of meat that we're trying to find other than just fish. We get a lot of fish, we get a lot of eel, occasionally some frogs, but trying to find some other proteins to cook with and kind of give you guys a little bit more diversity.
My gold is on the counter. Darling, I love and appreciate you, but I've seen far too much blood before I've had anything more than coffee today. So I'm afraid I'm going to need at least some wine, and maybe at least a little ganache of some kind. And then I'd be happy to talk shop for a moment.
Oh, I got you, dearie. As she sets down a little sherry glass, and you see her pull a bottle out from under the counter. Completely, it's a ceramic bottle, so you can't see through it. And she pours this dark amber liquid in it, and she's like, "You just need a little bit, but this with your wine, perfect." It smells
Wonderful.
really alcoholic. Like this is probably some like Felicia's moonshine kind of shit.
That is divine. So are you having, like, issues with any kind of distribution of getting shipments in here or anything at all?
Well, it's more trying to keep the food. Well, with the climate being the way it is and everything so moist, it's hard to keep some of the things just, dry. There's only so much we can do. It's certain times a year. It's just the humidity gets to us and everything. Things just kind of rot away and meat doesn't stay as long as we want. And not everybody wants dried meats all the time. And people are getting real sick of fish.
That's understandable. Do we have enough salt to be able to salt pack sort of things for that?
Oh, aye. Plenty of that. Definitely plenty of salt. And that's the thing, is we got plenty of salted fish, salted meats, but people are getting real sick of it. They want something healthier. Trying to find, if we could keep chickens around here, we'd probably keep chickens and have some eggs, but oh man, I haven't had eggs and I don't know when.
So what I'm hearing
Snake eggs just don't do it.
is that perhaps some sort of trade relationship would really help bolster the community.
Oh, absolutely. I'm originally from Rivers Meat, which is, the trade hub of the East, or trade hub of the West. But now that we're over towards the East Coast, I wouldn't know where to begin looking for resources.
Well, we need to find some place that has rivers and meat.
Well, actually, you do
I see what you
actually
did there.
pose one interesting point, though. River commerce is not a bad idea as far as trade routes go.
Well, we do have the Eris River to the east of us, but I mean, aside from Orthad Nor, there's not a whole lot to trade with, unless we want to go north of Tungenberg.
Well, if you had to venture a guess on what you think would work the best for the community, what do you feel it would be?
You mean you haven't even bothered reaching out to Thunderguard?
Well, I've only been here a year.
You know, it's
There's
not so hard to believe that a random shopkeeper can't exactly dictate commerce in the area.
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of there's plenty of merchants there that would love to be bringing mercantile wares out here. I'm just surprised that nobody's even bothered reaching out.
Well, also last I
They're
heard,
nice, fine folk.
We're kind of not the popular kids, though.
Well, I know my folk.
All of a sudden, the hillbilly's like, well, I don't get it.
They've always treated me fine. Come on over.
This is my cousin Billy. This one's Billy Bob. This is Billy Bob Thornton.
Well, be that as it may, sometimes it requires a bit of a, I don't know, delicate hand at this sort of thing. I don't immediately know if we might be the best folks to do that, but it is good to know that should we begin going in one area, that we should look out for these sort of things and try and find them for you as we go.
Well, it'd be much appreciated. I'm sure Ornak would appreciate having some more trade about any. Again, when you're an underground resistant, it's kind of hard to make trade relations when you're trying to be secret.
You know, you got me thinking about something, darling. You speak any weird languages at all?
Can't say I do.
Have you ever had any odd messages appear around here at all? Weird symbols you wouldn't normally recognize. Appear overnight. Spilled milk suddenly appearing in odd forms. Spirits acting out, or the fairies moving things, as some might think. But, magic's awry.
Can't say that I have. Everything in here has been pretty normal, aside from the occasional overly drunk person.
That's what I was afraid of.
Why? What's going
on? Well, I'm not sure I should really panic any folk by saying that sort of thing. I'm more just worried of things trying to talk to us. Sometimes only in what's available to them. So, I was just curious if anybody else might have previously seen any sort of drawings occur in liquids overnight, or if it's just happening around the automaton.
Normally if I hear that sort of urban legend, it usually has to do with ghosts.
And that was my thought as well, except for the fact that it was speaking in Terran. And that's the part that gave me cause in all of this. Do you know of a spirit that would speak Terran?
Can't say that I do know.
Exactly. That's why we needed a moment to collect ourselves, have a drink, and talk with our wonderful friend.
Sounds like you've got quite the conundrum on your hands.
Unfortunately. But protein, that's definitely something I'm going to remember to look out for. I want to make sure everybody's getting the proper meat they want.
She gives you a wink, does little finger guns, and heads back to serving the other customers.
So now that I've had a
also
drink,
Grim, sorry, also Grim. I may have named her that because of that. Just in the hope that somebody would get that. Anyway, go ahead.
well, like I was saying, I believe that I fear something else was trying to speak in those runes. As you saw, Grim, that was not there with us before.
Who's Grim?
Sorry, Aldrin.
Aldrin, your names are not on everything properly, damn it! I look up, I glance that I just went.
Properly.
It happens. It's
You
okay.
saw as well that there was no Terran glyphs there before. Something spoke in those words, and he said that was old language. Now that's either the spirits that we killed down in that tomb, or that's the bloody robot.
I'm also thinking on the latter here. So I don't see why or how those spirits would have followed us all the way there. Was there blood on the automaton? I would imagine there was, because head exploding.
But there were no drawings on the automaton.
Right, but did blood touch the automaton?
Yes.
Maybe, in a way, the contact with the blood is what awakened something in the automaton, and that then caused those glyphs to appear in a way that it's trying to communicate with us. Maybe we need
That is
some
basically
liquid
what I
or
was thinking, yes.
yeah, we might need more liquid or some blood on the automaton.
Or maybe
and
it's pointing us towards a key.
I know one place where we could put the automaton where there's more liquid.
We're not putting it in the river.
I don't believe water would help, but blood might.
Water is not the same kind of liquid.
I know this might be difficult to imagine, but blood is thicker than water.
We should talk to Kazuo about this.
Yes, that's what I was... Well, actually, I mean, they said that we should speak to Ornak about it, but I wanted to take a time to really compose ourselves for a bloody minute, and then set out on the next one. But the problem is I really do think that we are going to need to check those tunnels again soon for the statue that we saw down there as well. Maybe we need to make them nuzzle. They need to Eskimo kiss. I don't know, something.
I thought we were going to try to support trade relations and find our way into a black market back in Thunderguard.
Why not
Well,
both?
it's okay to have multiple quests at once.
Oh, we can do that, yeah, it's true. We can have
See,
multiple quests at once.
The issue with doing trade with Thunderguard, which is a good idea, they also have trade deals with the Sun Elves.
Yeah.
And we don't exactly want them to know where we are, which we would have to give our location to Thunderberg to be doing commerce with them.
Thunder. We don't necessarily have to register with all of the proper authorities or anything. There's almost certainly people there that could be, down with our cause.
As you guys are having this conversation, Doc and Andrew walk in. Doc is looking visibly shaken, and they go sit. Andrew escorts him to a booth in the corner and goes to get him a drink.
Ah! I see Doc had a little bit before he had his nosh, too.
I want to make that a double for him.
All right, go for it. Yeah.
I literally make the order. I'm like, oh, he needs one I'm having as well.
Physician, heal thyself.
uh, Andrew nods to you, not saying anything, but just kind of gives you a thankful nod and takes the drink over to Doc, and he gestures for you to join them.
So, Doc, what is it that troubles you so out of all of this?
You wanted to say up so badly, didn't you?
I believe the problem is up, dog.
Well, what the fuck are we going to tell Tristan's mother? I mean, how
But
exactly did he die?
mission accomplished. I believe telling an oracle much of anything shouldn't be a surprise for the oracle.
Yep, we can probably just say congratulations. Your son's dead. You were right.
Your prophecy came true. There you go. You were right.
You were right again, 100%.
You think she wants to be right that her son is dying, that her son is dead?
No, I don't. But I also don't think that we're on good terms yet, and rushing to them with this information is usually not a good idea.
Well, this now makes 2 people dead, and just a suggestion because, well, Tristan and the child. There's 2 dead in relation to the automaton now.
Yes, the child.
I mean, and just a suggestion because I am not an authority, but I suggest no one mess with this automaton. It is dangerous. I mean, it is the property of the Terran Enclave, but I suggest it best to exile it from camp if it is a danger.
We're not putting it in the river.
I'm not saying to put it in the river, but...
Okay, hear me out.
No.
We can...
No. No. We're not putting it in the river.
I understand that there's a lot of resistance to the river, which is why I wanted to point out that we could also...
Put it in some sort of cart next to the river?
Well, we could put it next to the river and wait for, the rainy season, and then hopefully washes away, but that might be too much long-term thinking with this problem.
We're not... erosion is not your plan!
All right, well, we can also bring it down back into that cave and seal up the temple and think no more of it. I'm back to my original suggestion.
Well, until erosion undoes this plan, they're kind of counterintuitive.
Or until somebody digs it up again.
Not to mention the fact that the temple is, currently being dug out by fanatics.
It sounds like that's a problem that solves itself.
It sounds like it's a lot more trouble.
Well, I'm not sure that they have the facilities here to study or house it properly, given what's happened. But the question is what to do with it. I mean, I could make my suggestions to Ornak, but again, I'm not an authority here. I'm just a guest.
There's a very powerful druidic spell where one can dig a very deep hole and then place earth over that hole. And that's how we deal with a lot of our problems. I know it's not a river, which is why I thought that this might be a better suggestion.
There is another way to do this without magic, which is called a shovel.
The magic way is much more efficient, trust me.
regardless, having the proper facilities is kind of an issue when you can't afford to have facilities because you're being hunted for being who you are.
Well, given the nature of this automaton and as dangerous as it may be, the question is what to do with it. Take it to Orthanor, where perhaps my colleagues could study it further, as you don't have someone here to do it. But I mean, you don't want to hand it over to Nymorn or the shepherds. Moonladrian is in possession of an unknown number of, or has been in possession of an unknown number of automaton. None that are active, as far as we know. Or she could auction it off to the highest bidder. What would you do with it if you were in her shoes?
Well,
Other than burying it and throwing it in the river.
Well,
no,
yes, other than
no.
that.
So, I'm really concerned of the symbols that kind of appeared on things overnight while Tristan's body was there.
Yes, I was intending to go study those myself and see if I just trying to get the stomach to go in there.
Well, that's exactly why I had asked Khazro to have people commission drawings of everything so that we could actually do that without actually looking at blood.
Oh, brilliant, thank you. I don't have the strongest stomach. I'm an old man, but I've seen a lot of things over the years, just not quite what I've heard.
But the concerns that we have are, well, we saw what happened to Tristan. Aldrin and I were there. There were no symbols. There was blood covering everything, yes, but not like that. So, unless we have reason to believe that something else drew that, then we have a closed room scenario.
Curious.
What if the automaton was trying to speak?
My thoughts exactly.
If you were an automaton, what would you have done in that situation?
Superman.
No follow.
What the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm trying to regain my composure here. Give me a second.
Composure? What's that?
I said composure.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
My brain heard you say blowjob, not composure. That's what I was just
What?
like,
Nope.
what? I'm pretty sure that's not what you said, so I'm just gonna leave it.
Definitely
Nope.
doesn't help composure in most
Composure?
situations, too.
Composure, yes.
Composure.
Oh,
Anyway.
you're welcome.
Congratulations, we've made it 97 minutes without mentioning cum. Great
Good
job,
job.
guys.
Congratulations. You're all terrible, naughty children.
Yay!
Almost made it to 100 minutes. I'll restart the timer.
And on that note, we're gonna take a short break, you guys. Thank you. We will be back here in just a few minutes. Don't go away.
it's
Penis
a
joke.
small batch Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. 80 proof. Oh, sorry.
Delicious. All right.
Here for it.
So were you guys going to join Doc in investigating or looking over the drawings of the sigils, or did you have other plans? Not everyone at once. Can
Well,
you?
I think
Okay,
I
there's.
would try to reach out to my very on the up and up contacts among the White Court. You know,
Okay.
very well reputable contacts. Not criminal at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah, try and reach out and try and ask if there's any possibility or eventuality of a trade being done for Quinn.
Okay, so you're reaching
Try
out
and
to
get some feelers out.
you're reaching out to Nyman.
Yep.
All right. How are you doing so?
Yo, bro, she looking for the meat. How can you hook up?
Yo, my girl Felicia, she wants the meat.
Well, that's a good question.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match.
I guess I would write down a message in Halfling and try and go through some different messenger systems,
Okay, you just get text
kind
him
of
and be
stuff.
like, "You up?"
You up?
Well, kind of have someone from the enclave go to a place to send a message through another messenger who sends through another messenger and stuff like that.
Yeah, so there is a faction, let me find it here. Where did it go? Oh, vendors, there we go. The Efferia Express. It is free delivery anywhere. Um, if you get in with the right people, but it's fast delivery, dependable, and discretion. Run by Timothy Wittershins. You guys are able to easily send out a missive through one of their couriers.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll use Timothée Chalamet's messenger system.
I said Timothy Wittershins. He does look like Timothy Chalamet. God damn it! Hold on. Let me put it in chat. Because I made
Glitter shins. I hardly even know her shins.
Must smack you. But yes, it was unintentional to make him look like Timothy Chalamet. It just happened to be the way he came out. Looks like Timothy Chalamet, and so I named him Timothy.
Yep, I can see it.
Yep, it's the hair.
Yep.
Yeah. He looks like he's here to save a desert planet.
Yep. All right. So, what is the contents of your letter?
Kind of, because I don't speak thieves' cant, but in as much as I understand of it, try and kind of get some feelers out. Kind of I know that you have what's the last name again? Queen Elindo, and I'm curious if there's any ransom or possibilities for trade or something of the kind concerning her release.
Okay. All right, you get that sent off without issue. It'll cost you 3 copper to get that sent.
Alright.
As for the rest of you,
If we want to make contact with some of the fellow druids in the moors between here and Tundabarg, it may open up some possibilities of trade or mutual protection, as theoretically not all of the druidic folks around are necessarily aligned with the powers that be. Druids are known to be sort of neutral.
alrighty. You're able to do that. They have various bird messengers that they're able to send out through the Epherian Express, so you're able to go to the same place as Aldrin to do so.
Send them.
Send the
I can send.
birds! Send
Are
the
you
birds!
implying that I can't send my own bird? I'm only doing this out of convenience.
Well, I mean, ours are trained.
I'm sorry, I forgot Boris's voice for a second. uh,
Whatever.
whatever.
You think I can keep a consistent accent?
Darling, it's a problem. Trust me.
No, the problem is that I end up doing the flamboyant British again and forgetting that.
We can have 2 flamboyant Brits.
Nope, but I really
Just
like
be
Boris
more
better.
high. I'll be more gay. It'll be okay.
I know I like Boris better when he's just kind of when I put my Midwest voice back on and put my tongue back in the middle of my mouth and not move it around as much.
Fuck off!
Which is that's how I learned how to talk in the Midwest, is just leave your tongue in the middle of your mouth and don't move it around as much as you would have otherwise. And I learned that pretty quickly. Then I moved back to New York and I started moving my tongue around again.
Because that's a thing.
Yeah. Anyway.
Alright. Dustin, Zedish, what are you doing while all this is going on?
I'm interested in going with Doc and seeing what we can learn.
Alright, sounds good.
I'm not necessarily good at things, but I'm average.
I think Dustin's just processing all of this. It's like he's not used to like crazy convoluted political happenstance.
That's exactly where I am, like, processing, like, well, I really didn't think I was going to get into politics, but, well, I guess if this is how it is, I guess I'll have to dress a little bit nicer. Need a better cloak.
Think of it as another performance.
To be fair, we could have thrown the dead elf into the river as well, and then we wouldn't have this problem either.
Is that... Okay, we don't have to worry about, like, debris in the wrong part of the water supply, though, right?
No, usually when us druids are out in nature, we'll bury our problems, but, you know, when there's a river around, you use the river instead.
Right. Just making sure. Getting a little concerned at times.
This is how we stay neutral.
With the river.
Convenience!
Yep. We like to be one with nature.
Take it to the water.
When we find problems, we return them to nature. By burying them or throwing them in the river.
That's a lot of death. Not a lot of acceptance amongst druids, I guess. I never really thought about that.
We're a
That's
very
odd.
altruistic
I'm gonna have
society.
to
We
sit
don't
with
like
that for a little
problems.
bit. All right. Okay.
That's how we maintain our neutrality.
Well,
Sorry, I just
yes,
don't
if
like to get
that's
involved.
no, that's perfectly fine. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work out very well for you here in the future. You're in a very involved sort of area. You're like living in a Black Panther village and, you know, being attacked by poachers and being like, I really want to stay out of the leather trade industry.
Yeah, but I really wanted to, join the resistance to get away from all that, hierarchy of society. I thought this was really going to be more like a communal living situation.
Well, yes, and then the government gets angry at you, turning your taxes away from the man. And here we are again at the same point.
Screw the man! Screw the man! Bunch of drunks cheering.
See?
Right. I was just, hoping that we could this would be more like a fun little get away from it all
Oh,
continuation of my
yes.
druidic experience. I am happy to be here, don't get me wrong. And I'm like totally down for the cause, but
Well, the unfortunate part right now is the fact that without involvement, they've already tried to set fire to the village and then blown themselves to smithereens. So sometimes staying uninvolved doesn't necessarily work very well. As
But
much
I'm just
as I
saying,
would like to burn other villages to the ground, it doesn't always help.
right, but they blew themselves to smithereens, and we know where his mom is, and there's some crazy people trying to dig up that tomb, and that's where his mom is. So I figure, let's get them out of here.
By out of here, you mean...
No, I mean, I'm all
I think
about
he wants to throw them
maintaining
in the
the peace
river.
and balance about nature. So if we can convince them to go elsewhere, maybe we'll have a little bit more peace
Do
and
you
balance around here.
do you have any capability of moving statues or rocks over long periods of time? You don't have any kind of weird druidic powers for that, do you?
Uh, yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways to do that.
But
The kind that does not involve burying the statue or throwing it in the river.
Wait, are you suggesting that I use my druidic magic to unbury something?
well, kind of. It's
Because I'm a dwarf, we know
tomb.
all about unburying things too. Like you're not a. This isn't a new concept to me, but go on.
Well, I'm wondering if moving the automaton next to the other statue might help in some way.
What I'm thinking is let's not bring the automaton to the fanatics and let's bring the statue to the automaton.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was asking about moving a statue.
Right, I just want to clarify because you said moving the automaton to the statue.
Well, it's just making them meet. I feel like perhaps this is a reunion that is meant to happen, if you catch my drift.
I still like my plan where we bring the automaton down there and then cave the place in. But
okay, I thought he was going to say throw it in the river again.
I guess you don't really remember the sneaking in part as much as the rest of us, so that makes sense.
Nope.
See, if we have the automaton, we can make sure it's kept safe and studied. If we give it to fanatics, neutrality is gone.
I really don't want to move the super valuable mega weapon outside of the village is kind of really the ideal.
I mean, you're not wrong. It is a dangerous entity, and I think at the very least, keep it under guard 24/7.
Yes, so move an unknown statue, not super ultra mega weapon. Yes?
I guess. We'll have to do it tomorrow morning because I didn't prepare Mold Earth today, but I can do it tomorrow if we let me sleep and prepare Mold Earth for tomorrow.
I mean, there is one positive thing to think of. We got near the statue and nothing happened. People touch the automaton, their heads explode.
Don't
All
forget.
right.
Don't forget.
touch the
There
statue.
was a helmet attached to the automaton when you found when just before
Yes.
Tristan had it on just before his head exploded.
Wait.
Yep.
This is a simpler solution to the whole problem. We just throw the helmet in the river.
No. No.
You know, I feel like
Damn it, I'm watching
trying
the
a little...
stream and trying to catch you when you take a sip of your drink.
Have you heard of pigeonholing?
There's a slight delay, but I appreciate your candor.
I know. Timing.
The real problem, though, is now I've watched to see how much that delay is.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, now I know. Now I know we have to be just a tiny bit faster.
I mean, Wenrish thinks that maybe it's not the automaton, maybe it's the helmet exploding.
Oh, hi,
We
Wenrish.
still don't need to bury the helmet. We can leave the helmet out of the equation.
Yes, you
Yeah, but
last
we could
did
always
you last
unbury the
gave the
helmet
helmet
later.
to Ornak.
Maybe Ornak will bury the helmet and solve two
I mean,
problems
again,
for us.
No.
getting the statue really seems to be the answer to this. Yes? So can you help transport it if we, I don't know, end up accidentally killing all of the fanatics on our way there?
Before we move the statue, we should bring Kazro with us to the statue, because an automaton is just a very fancy statue until it starts moving. And that statue down there looked pretty fancy to me.
Well, yes. It could also be something else we have no idea of.
That's exactly why I want someone who is more well-versed in magic to come with us.
My concern is wanting to transport quickly and not getting bogged down, perhaps, at that exact moment with the specifics of the item itself. As much as I hate the idea of treating this as a tomb robbery, we should.
Are you trying to tell me that you think that we need somebody other than a dwarf who specializes in earth magic to help bury and or unbury something?
No, I'm asking
No.
if you can help unbury that statue. I'm not sure where.
Of course I
somebody
can
else
help
is
unbury the statue. You think I would
Wonderful.
you think I would come from a civilization based around burying their problems, and if we didn't have a way to unbury our problems when we were ready to deal with them?
I mean, I assume that problem has never actually come up.
It's uncommon, but dwarves do have exceptionally long lifespans, and sometimes we are ready to face, the consequences of our actions from time to time.
Ah, that's good to hear. Positive growth.
You're supposed to do it at least once in your lifetime.
Yes, really expel it from the bowels.
Yep.
And thus,
Dig up at least one
begins
problem
another
that-
episode of Poop Jokes. Oh, that's right.
part
Last
about
episode
digging
was
it
like
up-
half poop jokes.
The part about digging it up is not the issue here. The part about what we're digging up is where we need someone else.
More poop jokes. I'm not really sure about digging things up.
Oh, God.
That's right, it's your favorite filter.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I got a feeling it's just going to be a running gag at this point.
At least
That's
it's
why
not running down your leg.
keep that one on for too long, or it literally breaks Kate.
Accurate. Accurate. Anywho, so what is the plan, y'all?
Well, it's time to do our duty.
You said
Smash and grab?
duty!
Hello, we're here to take possession of something. Who are you?
Well, first,
I've got no love for the
Dog.
fanatics that are trying to dig up that buried ruin. My philosophy, ruins that are buried are meant to stay buried, and we should stop them from unburying it at all costs.
Dog,
By which I mean it's
Where you
perfectly
were
fine to
settled.
resort to violence.
where you were settled, Doc, did you see anyone other than us?
No. Other than the workers.
Right. How many of them did you see over there?
Well, just a few, handful. But they
Because-
were leaving for the day, and we were just starting our excavation.
Well, then we just have to inform them that the Tan Enclave has decided that it is important to immediately transport important discoveries. And they can either assist us or immediately reveal themselves as cultists and be dealt with accordingly.
Or, hear me out, we don't broadcast what we're doing to everyone and we just go through the exit that we used to get the statue out when there's no workers around.
Well,
Well, here's my question: is how are you planning to get a 2-ton statue out of a temple?
well, boys, what do you say?
Very slowly.
See? Slowly.
Oh,
If we
okay.
could get Kazuo to potentially make that statue smaller, perhaps, maybe we could just carry it.
Ah, clever idea. I've heard of such magics.
Aaron, am I still around, or have I gone off with Doc to?
Oh,
Look
Doc
at
has
the-
been talking this whole time.
Oh,
Doc is who
God.
they're talking to.
okay.
Yeah.
So on the subject of carrying things, we could do brute strength, and I do a lot of the lifting.
Well,
Well,
I just
mean,
hate
yeah,
to see
yes,
you
there
put
is
your
the
back
point
out.
of just pushing something.
My plan was to cast Move Earth and move it 5 feet at a time.
That could help.
Like, basically, Earthbender it out.
Well, it would just be more like shh, 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 like
Right.
slowly, just 'cause
5
it would
foot.
just be like it would be moving on like a turtle's back slowly forward.
Yeah, I mean, I'm imagining just like making a 5-foot wave of Earth underneath it and then stepping forward. Another 5-foot wave of Earth. Step forward. You can move pretty much anything as a druid if you have enough time.
Well, I'm not sure what kind of time we have if we're going to be returning Tristan's body back to his family.
Well, here's the thing. If there weren't all of those fanatics down there, we'd have all the time in the world. Maybe we can convince them to leave by returning their leader's son's decapitated body to them, and then
No,
informing them that
they don't
the
have
dig
those
site
relations.
Different people.
is now
Yeah.
the. Oh, I apologize. I thought that the Sun Elf lady was the same Sun Elf that we met at the archaeology site.
No,
But no, the
this
Well,
is
that's the
this
dead
is
guy.
the son. The guy who died is the son. Was the Sun Elf that you met?
Oh, he was the Sun and the Sun Elf,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
not
He
the
was the
Sun
Sun
Elf
Elf.
son.
correct.
Well, he is the sun elf who is the
I mean,
son
kind of.
of another sun elf.
He is a sun elf's son, now that you mention it.
He is the
The-
sun elf, son of a sun elf.
Son
The
of
son
son
of
of
son is
son of
the
son of a
son of a
cylinder.
sun elf.
Oh my
Yes.
fucking god.
And that sun elf in turn is a daughter of a son elf.
Right.
Comes from a long, long line of sun elves, yeah.
Son. Long line of sons of sun elves.
Yep.
All right. Well, I apologize for conflating that. Then let's just fucking kill all of the fanatics and get them the hell out of here. We don't have to play diplomacy with them. We can just tell them that the dig site is ours.
But I mean, the Town Enclave already was working with it. That was the whole point. There was at least some diplomatic relations that were occurring there. That's why Tristan and everybody was there before. So not everybody should be a cultist.
The Enclave was working with Doc's expedition. The cultists, from what I recall, are more tolerated.
Well, yes, but my point is not everybody down there should be cultists. Some people might just be workers.
We create a big enough distraction, they'll leave for a while.
Well, yes, but if we end up needing brute force to move something, I mean, it's free labor.
Are you suggesting that we do some duplicitous act to trick the workers into excavating the statue and bringing it to the town?
No, I'm saying we say something to them so that the cultists are at least making themselves aware, and then in the end, if we are needing to actually move the thing with brute force and not just magical means, as wonderful as Zentish's muscles are, 10 other people are good to help move it.
Facts.
You're not wrong.
So I'm just saying, let's not, just run everybody off if they're not actually, villainous people that want to kill us or something. Sometimes at least giving people the opportunity to help in something like this that is truly trying to help and not be duplicitous is not a bad idea.
I mean, the more help we have, it'd be the better. I mean, Andrew here, and you see Andrew, who's just been sitting there the whole time, looks up from his food and pauses.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey.
Mid-bite, food hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah. Andrew's
Love
not
it.
exactly, the, well-muscled type. And I myself am old, and I'm not exactly the strongest myself. So any help we can get would be good.
My strongest muscle's my tongue, and that won't help.
Andrew blushes, full red face.
Nah, Andrew, you can help us if you want to. We can use all the help we can get.
I mean, I'll take notes.
It's okay. You don't have to be embarrassed, Andrew. You can give it all the effort you want.
Some people have different strengths. It's okay. Maybe one day you'll even be smart and wise like your old pal Borse. Borse has never met Andrew.
Actually, Boris met Andrew last session.
Borse doesn't remember meeting Andrew.
That's okay. Most people don't notice me.
It's okay, Andrew. Sometimes we all have different skills. What matters is that we all reach our destination.
Yep. And maybe your destination is helping us drag a statue out from under that temple. You come with us, buddy.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Remember, usually when yanking things out, it's good to do it in one steady motion, not quick jerking kind of reactions.
It's highly unlikely that we'll need your help anyway, but we just want to have a friend along, I guess.
Right, I'm your friend. Doc, I've got friends. Andrew, I've told you many times I'm your friend. You've been my assistant for many years now, and we are friends. We're not just colleagues.
I'm really digging this idea of getting help. Doc, you
No.
want to help us too?
Well, I'll watch and excavate. I can do small excavations, but I certainly can't move a 2-ton statue.
Doc also
Oh.
lends credence by their authority as it is.
And you can grab a rope if we need somebody to grab a rope. So,
I can certainly try.
Doc, I
All
just
right.
want to point out, if you pay people, it kind of, lessens the whole friendship part.
Son, I'm an academic. I don't make money.
Ain't that the truth?
Sorry, I
All
got
right, this
myself
is
with
good.
that one.
How many additional people do we need to move this statue?
I'd say at least half a dozen.
We should
All
get
right.
Caswell at the very
Yep.
least.
All right.
True. He's pretty muscular.
No, I meant for the magic aspect of things.
I got the magic covered. Don't worry about it.
All right. We'll get you guys moved back to the excavation. Da 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 da. Let me find where you were. We left you guys here. Okay, Wenrich is not here. However, let me get the other characters. There's Doc. There's Andrew. There's Kazro. Yep. That's not the right one. There we go. Alright.
We could have gotten so many more NPCs to come with us.
We'll say that you've got 5 other workers there to help you move it.
I can't stop thinking about the "she's so heavy" part of Across the Universe, where they're moving the Statue of Liberty now.
Yeah.
It's
we'll say that
literally
is
all that's in my fucking head.
It's a good thing to have in your head. It's a good scene.
I was like Googling it to find it because I'm like, it's driving me insane. I couldn't find a GIF for it.
That's the way it be sometimes.
It's true.
Alright, so you guys head back down into the temple to move said automaton. Kazro, here, let's move all of you guys down into here. Let me get Aldrin. Alright, there we go.
I can't see a bloody thing!
Wait, literally?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kazro goes to give it to look it over, and as far as he's concerned, it's immobile. It is.
I immediately give it
not.
scritches like it's real.
It is cold and crystalline.
Yes, I touched it before, but I'm definitely going to do it.
Well, pretty big statue. This is going to take a long time.
Well, yes, that's why we were stating it was a 2-ton statue that we were unburying. That was kind of why I was continuously mentioning why we might even need other people.
I'm just reassessing the situation here, that's all.
You didn't see this when we were down here?
Yeah, I saw it when we were down here, just stating the obvious and assessing the situation. It's just kind of bigger than I remembered, okay?
That's what she
All right.
said.
I understand sometimes once you get something in someplace, you realize it's much bigger than you thought.
Well, no, this is more of a situation of getting something out of someplace.
Well, yes. Now it's in here. We need to get it out.
Well, we're going to need to create a wider opening, I think. Something to stretch out the openings that we have available to us.
Sometimes you've just got to relax and work with what you've got.
That's why I know the spell Mold Earth.
Well,
I'm gonna
if you're going to mold
approach.
Earth, you could always mold a ramp the other direction.
What I was thinking more was we just have to build a set of scaffolding, and then I can just bring this directly up. Something that the dwarves call elevating. It's the opposite of excavating.
Because we're
Alright,
able
but
to shrink this thing.
How deep are we right now, though? I mean, how far up is straight up? Would that be?
Do we know what's directly above? I'm just talking about
Here.
this in terms of dwarvish solutioning. What's directly above us right now?
Here
This
at
is what-
Dwarvish Solution.
This is what is directly above you.
No, I mean what is directly above us, like if one were to be in Minecraft and dig straight down.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Stone?
How much? In feet, please.
15, 20 feet?
Alright. That is about 30 seconds worth of work for me.
Well, I believe that's only on the theory that you have something to perhaps hold it between those moments.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still needing to be other assistance for you to be able to move it vertically like you're speaking.
Kazro pipes up and just kind of goes, well, if we need levers, pulleys, and ropes, we can do that if we need to. We've got the equipment. Might be easier
What
to
is
try
it?
to... Levers.
What is it sitting on right now? It is sitting on Earth.
It is sitting on stone.
It's sitting on stone.
On worked stone.
I think this is worked stone here. I mean, it's literally a pedestal and stairs.
What's underneath it?
More stone.
I'm beginning to think rock bottom, but what's your point?
Well, then we might have to go to the old lever and pulleys.
By the way, I did
All
ask
right.
Kazro if he would be able to shrink the statue.
If
While
he'd
that's
be able
happening.
to... I'm sorry, what, the statue?
Shrink the statue, not saying
Shrink
I'm
the
not saying
statue.
blowjob.
I heard drink.
So did I. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Between
You and me,
blowjob and
statue, under the
drinking,
table.
what's going on, guys?
I can hear, I swear. Words are hard.
That's what she said.
It's a sweet
Yes,
brown
he is
sugar,
able...
black pepper, and cherry oak finish.
Let me check. I think I built his character.
Well, I mean, essentially, it sounds like we could drill 2 holes. One to pull this straight up, and then one essentially to shoot a weight down the opposite way.
A sort of counterweight. Where would we possibly get something that weighs as much as this giant statue? Oh, I know. I seem to recall that we have an automaton of roughly equal size. Why don't we use that as a counterweight?
Sinking one in there to raise the other one up, I don't believe is the solution you believe it is.
Yeah, and then we can cut the rope and they'll both be down here. And then we cave the whole thing. Oh.
Nope.
Nobody ever likes my plan.
with our tackle box system, we don't need equal weights. That's the point. We can actually distribute at a lesser force.
So you're just suggesting we build scaffolding and use ropes in a sort of pulley system to bring this up, and then I can,
I mean, that's what everybody else is kind of put forth and put together. I don't have all of that or the technical skill to do it all.
I don't know if anybody here knows how to do that kind of thing.
I'm looking to see if he has that ability. No, he does not.
But hey, look at it this way. Once we're all done, we can all go down and have a refreshing dip in the river. So then you'll still get your time.
Oh, he does. I take that back. He does have reduce and large. So yes,
Yeah,
you can reduce the statue, and then
talking.
You watch as you guys are having this conversation, Uldren. You and Kazuro are kind of off to the side, and you watch not only does Kazuro shrink it, but then also you watch as it starts to rise without him doing much of anything.
How much is it shrunk by?
Half. So it is now. Hold on.
Oh, that's floating. Well, I guess that answers that one.
Well, now we don't even have to carry it.
Well, I guess let's just get some ropes and pull it along.
But shouldn't we be a tad bit concerned that the statue responded immediately to magic?
You never seen a statue float before?
I mean, not unless the magic itself was doing that.
Arapsis, you turn and you see Kazuro kind of twirling his finger in the air and as it levitates.
All right, so
well, Kazuro,
system.
Really appreciate the assist here. You could have spoke up a little earlier, though. It's a little constructive criticism for you.
Can you
Aldrin is just pinching the brow of his nose, not mentioning it out loud, but just I've been saying this for the past 15 minutes.
I imagine Boars as the angry construction worker now, helmet off, just I've been working on this for 2 freaking days here.
I had a whole plan, Kazra.
And he just kind of shrugs and goes, "Oh, I'm telekinetic. You never asked."
Well, that's fantastic to know.
I've never met you before.
You did just a little bit. Okay.
Wait.
I
didn't meet you until today.
Well, they can apparently move things with their minds, so
we haven't had time to have a conversation about whether you are or not telekinetic. I
So-
appreciate you having a moment of vulnerability with us to share this fact about yourself.
That's not vulnerability. Vulnerability would be like, hey, do you do other things with that hand when you're alone? Just you and the mind? It's okay. You can tell us.
Please tell us. Now I want to know.
I can't come up with anything to tell you. I literally just like slow panned to the camera and went, because I was not expecting that.
See, that would be an example of going too far.
Aldrin is literally just wondering to himself how the Enclave has survived this long.
Your determination.
Our wits.
And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and call it here for tonight. We'll say that you guys have gotten the statue up to ground level, and we will pick up there next time.
Woo!
Woo, thank you, everybody.
Dang,
Will we level
telekinetics
up
always
because of
showing
common
up good.
sense?
Dwarven engineering.
Darn mutants replacing us good old folk.
They took our jobs!
All right, let's go find. We're gonna go right out to the Liching Hour as always on Tuesdays. So let us go give them some love, and I will see you guys all in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We're not just gonna stay here and do more X-Men discourse? Can't just...
You will see
We
me
could.
next Sunday. No, you won't, because you're the one that's not going to be there. Never mind.
Correct.
Fully lied.
You're filling in for
Fully
me.
lied.
Good try though.
That tells